Hey all, once again a warm welcome to all of you for this Introduction to Big Data Hadoop video course. In the last part, we saw that what exactly happens when a program comes into the Hadoop cluster. So we saw in the Hadoop job process that, okay, once the data is given, data is stored successfully in the cluster, we get a program and then the program is submitted by job tracker to each of the task trackers as a whole. Then they are given the message that, okay, start executing it on some particular block and then start the map phase, then start the reduce phase, and finally we get the output from the person or from the task tracker who is selected as the reducer. And the selection of the reducer is again done randomly, and the task tracker who is selected as the reducer will collect the mappers output from all the other mappers, combine it together, and then execute the reduce function on the combined mappers output and then produce the final output. Now let's try to understand what exactly happens in each of these phases of MapReduce. So let's have a look at MapReduce, the programming model. MapReduce is the data processing component of Hadoop, which attains the task of data processing by distributing tasks across the nodes. Tasks on each node process data locally, and it consists of two phases, map and reduce. And between map and reduce, there is a small internal phase called as shuffle and sort. So shuffle and sort basically is an internal compulsory default phase for which you don't have any controls. Whenever the reduce phase would be there, the shuffle and sort phase would be there. So this shuffle and sort phase is internal to reducer. Now, you know what, this is getting a bit confusing. So let's forget it and, focus on something else. Let's try to chill the environment by talking about a small story. So what happened once was IPL games were held in Pune, Mumbai, and Bangalore. And we know that in IPL games, people from all parts of the world, they come to see the games, and some delegates, some VIP people from the foreign countries also come and watch their favorite players playing on the ground. So what happened this time was, it was reported after the IPL that three people were lost in Pune, two in Mumbai, and three in Bangalore. Now, when the three guys came and reported to the police, Pune local police station, that we are lost, the Pune guys found out that these people are foreign delegates, some VIPs from foreign countries, but they did not know which country these guys belong to. The Pune guys did not know which countries these guys belong to. Then similar thing happened with Mumbai and similar thing happened with Bangalore also. So Pune, Mumbai, Bangalore local police stations, what they did was they reported this issue to the Delhi headquarters. So the Delhi headquarters said that, okay, we don't know how many people are there from which countries because they are lost in different cities. So you do one thing, you send these people to Delhi, we'll make a count of these and inform their respective countries that these people are lost, so that their respective countries will make some arrangements for taking them back home. So now what the Pune guys did is they thought that if we will order one cab and make all these three people sit in the cab and then transport them to Delhi, then it may be quite rude to do this, because normally we know that foreign delegates from different countries won't be sharing cabs with foreign delegates from different countries. So taking this point into consideration, what the Pune guys did is the Pune guys ordered three cabs. Similarly, Mumbai guys called two cabs and the Bangalore guys called three cabs. Okay. So now what happened was, when the first passenger in Pune, first foreign delegates in Pune, boarded the first cab, the cab driver asked him that, okay, which country you belong to, sir? So he said, I belong to Sri Lanka. Then the cab driver attached a message on the front screen saying that a Sri Lankan passenger is traveling. Similarly, when the second passenger boarded the cab driver again asked him that which country you belong to, sir, and he said that I belong to New Zealand. So the driver put a message on the front screen that a New Zealand passenger is traveling. Now, when the third passenger boarded the cab, again he was asked which country you belong to, sir, and again he said, I belong to Sri Lanka. So the cab driver had no other option, because see, one passenger already was there from Sri Lanka. We could have easily shared the cab, but at the time of calling the cabs, nobody knew that two people are from Sri Lanka. That's why we had to call three different cabs. And now the first cab has already left, so we don't have any option but to send this person with this independent car. So the driver attached the message on the screen saying that, okay, a Sri Lankan passenger is traveling. Similar thing happened with Mumbai, wherein it was noticed that one passenger was from New Zealand and one passenger was from South Africa. Similar thing happened in Bangalore, wherein it was observed that two passengers were from South Africa and one passenger was from Sri Lanka. Now, when these cabs were leaving the respective places, Pune, Mumbai, and Bangalore, the Delhi guys said that, okay, we have a total number of 8 cabs. And now, if these 8 cabs come to Delhi and we have a mishap here, then it would be like, India is not properly maintained and it would give a bad impression. So, what they said is, let's organize them at some place. So now these Pune, Mumbai, and Bangalore guys said that they have already left us. So what we should do? So Delhi guys said that don't worry. When they would be entering Delhi, we have a place called as New Delhi. So let these guys first go to New Delhi. There we'll organize them and then we'll bring them to Delhi. So what happened now? All these cars went to New Delhi. When they went to New Delhi, they were stranded in a big open ground and an announcement was made that we'll be calling the names of some countries. All the people that belong to that country, all the cabs carrying the passengers belonging to that country, please form a queue. So they said that, okay, all the cabs carrying the New Zealand passengers, please form a queue. So all the New Zealand passengers formed a queue. Then they said that, okay, all the passengers traveling from South Africa, the cabs please make a queue. So all these cabs came and made a queue. Okay. And then next up, all the passengers traveling from Sri Lanka, please form a queue. So all the passengers traveling from Sri Lanka in their cabs formed a queue. Then what these New Delhi guys did is instead of sending this 8 cars, what they did is they called tow trucks and attached these groups to the tow trucks and sent 3 tow trucks instead of 8 cabs to Delhi. So now when these 3 tow trucks came to Delhi, it was very easy for Delhi to do the counting and say that, okay, there are 2 people from New Zealand, 3 people from South Africa, and 3 people from Sri Lanka. So in this, what happened that in the first part at Pune, Mumbai, and Bangalore, what we did was the mapping, and in the last part at Delhi, what we did was the reducing. So Pune, Mumbai, and Bangalore are my mappers, and Delhi is my reducer. And New Delhi is the default internal compulsory phase, which is called as the shuffle and sort. And now as we can see in this diagram, New Delhi is a part of Delhi, which means that shuffle and sort is a part of the reducer. Now let's try to take a more practical example and see what all these phases are. So now what I have is I have a text file called as cards.txt, and this text file contains some cards like this. So it has some hearts, some spades, some clubs, some diamonds, and some, yeah, all these keys together. Okay. So now this card.txt, let's say it was logically broken up into groups of 64 MB and there were 4 such groups. So the first block consists of these all keys, second block consists of these all keys, third block consists of all these keys, and fourth block consists of all these keys. So now what happened next? Each block was given to a mapper and the mapper gave output something similar to like this. This happened with all the mappers and then all the output of the mappers was given to the shuffle and sort. At the shuffle and sort, this is this kind of input that the shuffle and sort received from all the mappers, and then the shuffle and sort shuffled it, sorted it together, and gave a output something similar to like this. Then the shuffle and sort gave its output as an input to the reducer, and finally at the reducer we got the count that okay, there are total clubs there are 13, total diamonds are there 13, 13 are the total number of hearts, and 13 are the total number of spades. Okay, so this was an example wherein using the MapReduce programming, what we did was we counted the number of cards in each deck for each color. We counted the number of cards in a deck for each color. Okay, so now let's take one more example. Okay, let's take one more example. So now this example is based on the program execution that we will be doing in the next part, a word count program. So now what I have is I have a text file form with me And what I need to do is I need to count the occurrences of each word inside the text file. Okay. And this is the same stuff that we are going to implement in the next session using the actual MapReduce programming in a practical way. So what I have with myself is my client has a file called as how are you, where have you been, and who are you. In my cluster side, I have three mappers. So what happens, each mapper will get one block each. So my mapper 1 gets how are you, mapper 2 gets where are you, and mapper 3 gets who are you. Now mapper 1 will give the output as how comma 1, r comma 1, and u comma 1. Mapper 2 will give the output as where comma 1, r comma 1, and u comma 1. And mapper 3 will give the output as who comma 1, r comma 1, and u comma 1. Now all these outputs are given to the shuffle and sort, and at the shuffle and sort end what we get the output is r1 comma 1 comma 1, how comma 1, where comma 1, u comma 1 comma 1 comma 1. Now this output is given as an input to the reducer wherein the aggregation is done, and what we get is the final output that r is 3 times, how is 1 time, where is 1 time, and u is 3 time. And this is the word count program, and this is what we are going to execute in the next session. So thanks a lot guys for watching this video. Stay tuned for the next programming implementation of your MapReduce program. Thank you.